In this video, we're going to take a look at an online tool called Quizizz. It's a free tool for teachers to present quizzes to their students. I will say, though, one thing I dislike about this tool is the name, Quizizz. So if I try to say Quizizz or the word quizzes, Quizes, I confuse myself and my students fairly often. But Quizizz is a neat tool for teachers and students to use, which is engaging, which can be aligned to the standards, and brings a sense of engagement to your classroom. You can use it for reviews. You can use it for graded assignments or quizzes. You can find a ton of pre-made quizzes, or you can make your own. So today we're going to look at making your own, and then we'll also play through a pre-made game that will help us understand how the game will look to a student. So you will need to create an account, and on the left side we can see the toolbar. So it says memes. After each question there will be a meme, a goofy image with a funny caption that at least my 6th grade students really seem to enjoy. There are teacher reports, there's pre-made collections, there's a library of your quizzes. And so let's look at creating a new quiz really briefly before we jump into testing one out. We'll give it a quiz name, so this one we'll just name example quiz. English, and we can align it to the standards if we want. So some state standards are already saved in here, along with the Common Core standards, okay? I'm not going to mess with the standards in this video, but if that's something you're interested in, it does have some of that built in. You can search existing questions or create your own. And in these questions, it's simply multiple choice. So my question will be, how tall was Abraham Lincoln? We'll say 5'8". 5'10", 6'2", or 6'4". Now, I only know this because Abraham Lincoln and I are the same height, 6'4". And so there's our question. And again, you can do that for as many as you would need to. But let's say that's the only question I need my kids to know. I'll say this is 6th grade social studies. I can select topics, let's say history, and that will save my quiz. And it will show up in my library, in my quizzes. Now, there's a few ways to play. You can play a live game with your class where they go through the questions together, as a homework game where they go through on their own, as a solo game where they play by themselves, or flashcards where they study the information. Let's look at a solo game of this short quiz. The students will be able to enter a code. Since I created it, I do not need to do that. It'll pop up the questions. When I get the answer right or wrong, it will show one of these memes, either a positive one for questions right or an incorrect one for questions got wrong. We also have, let me go back to my account here. We also have live games. We have homework games and flashcards. Now, the flashcards will be a little simple with just one question, okay? But the kids can select whether they need to review that answer or whether they got it and they understand. A live game would give you a code. You can change settings for the students. You can also select the memes you want the students to see. And if you're interested, you can build your own meme sets if that's something that you think would be beneficial for you and for your students. But let's go ahead and find a quiz and look through it. So let's look for Abraham Lincoln. Here's one right here. You can go through and see what the questions are. We can choose live game, homework game, solo game, or flashcards. On a homework game, you say when it should be due. You'll proceed. It will give you a code to share. You can share it just by sharing the link. Google Classroom and Moodle will remind, and the students would go through on their own. So it's a nice way to do an assignment at home. If a student is absent and they need to make up an assignment, this is a great way to share that. Go back. I lost my quiz, so let's go back to it so we can go through a solo version where we play on our own. And now what we want to do is just do our best. Who fought the Civil War? The northern and southern states. And there's our meme. So that is Quizizz. It is a tool that is pretty adaptable. You can enter any information you need. It is a tool that at least my students at the 6th grade level really enjoy. And these memes, although they seem kind of silly to me, the students really get a kick out of them. So use it if you think it's something that you'll benefit from in your class, and see you later.